Sri Lanka Guardian, 9 April 2024, is China going to dominate and control the Indian Ocean? As part of its all-out war against India, China has been occupying India's smaller neighbors and building up its fleet of aircraft carriers in the Himalayas, all the while distracting India. It makes sense that nations like Australia, the United States, and India are concerned about China's growing military might and sway in the Indian Ocean. China's desire to rule the region is demonstrated by the construction of dual-use facilities in Gwadar, Pakistan, and the installation of a military station in Djibouti, East Africa, in 2017, according to Sarin Hashai in the print. We are also reminded that, despite long-standing assumptions that India would act as a counterbalance to neutralize this threat, the US is concerned about China's increasing naval might in the Indian Ocean. There is a concern in the UK that the government might be about to give Mauritius the Chagos Islands, which would be a humiliating geopolitical error. Giving Mauritius control over the 60 islands that make up the Chagos archipelago might eventually enable China to establish a base, endangering the stability of the Western military station in Diego Garcia. Hydrography islands have historically attracted the attention of global powers due to their strategic significance for trade, religion, and conquest. Rule Britannia was originally the British way of ruling the waters. To rule the waves today, one must first comprehend what is beneath the waves. The fight for power in the Indian Ocean is shifting to the new battleground of hydrograph. Smaller island states desire to establish their sovereignty and control over information regarding their maritime resources and domain because they are having trouble obtaining development funding. These countries are pursuing hydrography, which is increasingly focused on geopolitics, with the world's superpowers vying for hydrographic services. India has temporarily retreated after carrying out more than 100 foreign hydrographic studies in the Maldives. It has recently conducted surveys in Kenya, Tanzania, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and the Seychelles. China is now pitching itself to these same islands and countries as a substitute supplier of hydrographic services. Many people wonder if China's goals in the Indian Ocean extend beyond President Xi's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. China and Diego Garcia. Diego Garcia is the largest island in the Chagos archipelago. Extensive U.S. military facilities are located there. They were leased from Britain in 1966. Some elements may still work to China's advantage in Chagos, even if it is unable to establish domination there just yet, according to observers. China has gained some insight from the mistakes made by the West, even though tracking and policing crude oil shipments to China from the Gulf through the Indian Ocean is a significant and expensive undertaking. Why buy a candy store to get a lollipop now and then? Not exactly a parallel, but China is currently obtaining more significant amounts of crude via pipelines that pass through Central Asia, Russia, and Myanmar. It continues to rely on Persian Gulf crude. Furthermore, although China has enough rice and wheat to feed itself, it depends on the BRI trade route. It is anyone's estimate, but China is still a force to be reckoned with, even if it cannot seize control of the so-called islands in the sun in the Indian Ocean to its liking. Its effect during the many years of involvement with these Indian Ocean islands is almost certain to have grown.